the end of every year, pros get relegated out of the Elite Series, and it's going to be a tough day for some of them today, but a great way to finish the season here on the Mississippi River. Pool 7, 8, and 9. Always a fun event to cover, always an exciting event, but just when you thought our Angler of the Year race couldn't get any more compelling. I mean, the tightest Angler of the Year race we've ever had. We brought the stage out and all the trailers here to Copeland Park to do a weigh-in, and what a great facility, number one. But just when you think our Angler of the Year race can't get any more compelling, we have a two-way tie, and Jay Shakura from Wisconsin says that all of a sudden, I got something different to do. I'm going to tell you how things are. You're in my state, and guess what? I'm taking the lead back unofficially.
Yeah, just it's so interesting. And all of us, including me, thought that it was totally between Trey McKinney and Chris Johnson. And Jay Secure said, not so fast. We talked about at St. Clair when I was in studio talking to Ronnie and Tommy and Suits that I really think that Jay not being in the lead is better for Jay to have a chance to win. For whatever reason, I felt like he needed to be the hunter, not the hunted. And, boy, did that pan out for him yesterday. The big problem is, though, you have to look at the points.
Yep.
And he was 40, a couple points down. If Trey or Chris finish above 40th, Jay can't win, even if he wins this event. So he's got a mountain to climb, but he did what he needed to do yesterday.
That's the thing. I mean, at St. Clair, to your point, Zona on the halftime show was talking about how, it was going to be a two-man race between Shakira and Johnston. We thought the same thing here with Johnston McKinney. Obviously, big move from Jay yesterday. It's going to be interesting to the final day.
Yeah, and remember, the points are still the same coming into this. Whatever Jay was back, that's what he has to finish ahead of Trey and Chris. And Jay can only move so much up. He was in 7th place after day number 1. Well, Chris Johnson was in 55th. Trey was a few spots behind that. They got a lot of ground to make up. But speaking of making up ground, let's get caught up with everything that's been going on in the water with our Yamaha midday report. And why not kick things off with the first angler we are covering, and that is the angler who is leading this tournament, I believe. One Caleb Kufal.
Yeah, we've gotten to know Caleb through the years fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series. He loves to have a flipping stick in his hand, and he is close to home with a flipping stick in his hand, and that's going to make him very dangerous for the rest of the Elite field. I talked to him yesterday afternoon after he weighed in, said he's got a lot of experience here. He's doing what he likes to do, and he just frankly said, I think I know where those bigger fish live on this river, and he proved it yesterday, and he's backing up again today.
2 Bassmaster wins, one in the Open, one in the Elite Series, both of them from the state of Alabama. He would love to get it done in front of his home state crowd, and Wisconsin has shown out here. We go a lot of places, and the locals, they don't always show out the way they have. After day number 1, with Kufal, with Schlopper, there's a lot of Wisconsin representing.
No question about it. Great day so far this morning as well, 15-11. How often do we see the day 1 leader have struggled early on day 2?
Yeah, absolutely. And talking to him yesterday, like the day I think you have to win this event is the day that he's got in the bag after yesterday.
Trey McKinney seemed unflappable all season long. Once he got over that tough one, put himself in contention coming into this event. But if we've seen any kind of ruffles or toughness this season, it was yesterday. He kind of struggled.
Yeah, you could just see that there's a lot of pressure on this young angler. He's only 20 years old. He's accomplished a lot in his young career, but he's still 20 years old, and the pressure of Bassmaster Angler of the Year is really wearing on him. It's also wearing on Chris Johnson, too. I can't say that it's not. And I can't describe. Fortunately, I've kind of been there, done that. There's just no way to describe how much extra weight is on your shoulder with Angler of the Year on the line.
Well, there's the dude that everybody was counting out. Jay Shakura had a dream season going until we hit the Sabine River. Sabine River and then 10 Killer kind of were tough on him. Actually, no, Sabine River he survived. Yeah. 10 Killer and St. Clair, as crazy as that is, were tough on him. But he can right the ship here if those guys open the door.
Yeah, they've got to leave the door open, and unfortunately, they don't do that very often. Maybe one of them, but not both of them at the same time. I mean, when's the last time Chris Johnson and Trey McKinney finished below 45th place? I don't remember a time. I mean, I really don't in the last 2 years.
Here he is, your reigning and defending Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, and unofficially right now, he is in the lead once again in trying to go back-to-back and join a very, very rare group of anglers that have back-to-back Angler of the Year titles.
You know, no doubt about it. Obviously seeing Chris Johnston do a little bit of what he did yesterday, throwing a frog. You know, yesterday I think one of the things that stood out is you watched Trey McKinney, Chris Johnston. They were both neck and neck, you know, all day long with their weights. Not necessarily at the top of the leaderboard, but somewhere in the middle of the pack. As is normally the case, Bass Track is going to be a little bit off. A lot of surprises. Both those guys further down on the leaderboard. Great opportunity today for Chris Johnston to take that lead back in Angler of the Year.
Yeah, we'll hold your horses, Kyle, Jesse, because we got some breaking news right now. We're going to get out on the water with Wisconsin's very own Jay Securit.
Yes. Whew. Look at that. That's the fish we need. I know which one's my smallest. There we go. Uh, 3.5.
Oh, good googly moogly. That is a major shot from Jay Securit, and you could see, you just don't have to even worry about how big a shot it is. You saw how big a shot it is with that call right there.
It looked like a 2-pound upgrade to me, which here is solid gold. I mean, it's just so hard to separate yourself here, but that is the kind of fish that separates you from the pack.
Jay Securit, and you said it, you know, you felt like he needed to be the hunted, not, or the hunter, not the hunt, like come from behind. And I gotta agree, because it definitely felt like even at Sabine, he, all of a sudden, the pressure of chasing down one of the most coveted titles in this sport, you seen him start to feel the pressure of that moment. He started talking about it, and then obviously we saw what happened to 10 Killer in St. Clair.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing that happen to Trey McKinney here, and a little bit of Chris Johnston. Talked to both of them before this tournament started. They just didn't have a very good practice. And our sport is not unlike any other sports. Typically, the harder you work, the better things happen. The harder you work, the luckier you are. All those different sayings in any sport. Hard work pays off. Well, there comes a point where, especially in fishing, I certainly have experienced it, where you can just beat your head against the wall too much, and you can try, quote unquote, too hard to make things happen, and it just does not. And when you get to that point, it is so hard. I mean, it's like in baseball, Kyle, you know, sometimes the ball looks like it's a basketball, and sometimes it looks like it's a golf ball, but it's still a baseball. But
Absolutely.
There's just mentally, and right now, I think, especially for Trey, that ball looks really small right now.
Well, let's get out live right now with 20-year-old fishing phenom Trey McKinney, trying to add another accolade to his rapidly growing
I'm gonna go up in there, then
portfolio
switch
and become
sides.
the youngest Angler of the Year ever.
Not a bad one. Yes, sir. Thought it was gonna be bigger, but
That'd be his 5th fish.
yeah, me too.
Go for a ride anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna go for a little ride. string. Not quite a 2-pounder. Keep going for a ride. Yep.
Always good to get a limit. Great shot right here. We love to see top water action, whether it's a frog or a walking bait. Here's something interesting here this week, though. Again, with the pressure, there's no everybody that keeps up with Bassmaster. There's no denying that JT and Trey work together. There's no denying that Corey and Chris Johnson work together. All year long, we've been seeing Trey tell JT, "Hey, you just need to go over here. They're biting. They're good. It's easy. Just go right over there." And it's been a struggle more for JT. Same way with Corey and Chris. Obviously, Chris tied for the leader of Angler Year. Corey has been, he's been having to tell Corey and helping Corey more. But this tournament, I think, roles have swapped. And it's just so hard to go, even if it's your brother in their case, go fish where even your brother, like I said, tells you, just go over there and catch them. They're easy. It's so difficult.
And let's be honest, we're on a different fishery. It's a lot easier to tell somebody what to do the next day in St. Clair or Thousand Islands or something like this. Is historically, it's a river, and any river, I mean, the next day can be like a totally different day.
100%, Dave. And with all the rain we had just a few days ago, this river is changing, maybe more than I can remember in an elite series in the past from day to day. It always changes some, but it's been a lot the last 2 days.
So we're back to scratch. We got like 4 little dinks in the box, and now we got to try to find a school of them. I mean, it can literally happen so fast here, though. Like this grass stretch, I catch 16 pounds down one grass stretch. I mean, it's just how it happens here. You just run into that right pack of the fish, and you are wealthy. In practice, they were missing it real bad. I'd find them frog fishing, and there's a little one. Find like a little group of them and get 5 bites and not catch a one of them. Pretty concerning. Gosh, these mats look so good. Current on both sides of them. Like if I was a bass, I'd done be caught. This is where I'd be sitting. I mean, look at that. You don't get any better. I mean, that is gorgeous.
One of the big problems, everything looks so good here, and these fish are in small little groups. Caleb Kufal has figured out exactly where they are, but this fishery is so good and so beautiful. Everywhere you throw looks like where a bass should be.
And it's easy to point out, like, seeing Trey feeling the pressure of the moment. But I'm also listening to him and watching him, and, like, it's ridiculous. He's 20 years old. Right. Like a 20-year-old version of me, number one, probably didn't show up for takeoff. And if I'm in his situation, I'm in the fetal position, sucking my thumb in the bottom of that bass boat. And he is hosting a television show, basically. Top the leaderboard, Wisconsin. Running the board 1 and 2, Caleb Kufal and Pat Schlopper.
What a time to be live. Humminbird's new Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar is your front row seat to every epic catch, unfolding as it happens with more clarity than ever before. Decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Choose between 15 color palettes and 3 views. Zero in with enhanced bait tracking and marvel at all the jaw-dropping detail. New Mega Live 2. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
If you're looking for the best jigs, buzzbait,